Waking up tonight feels different for two reasons. For one, you're pleasantly surprised that your body mended reasonably well while you were resting. It comes with a caveat, though. The hunger you feel is pronounced. The beast like a black dog on the edge of your vision, following you. But the thing that is really remarkable is waking up to the tune of an old cell phone ringtone and unknown numbers calling you from the phone you got from Mia. You pick up. Get that old thing charged after all, huh? You alright? No, actually, I feel like shit. Look, that's too bad, but I don't really care. I was just being polite. I'm calling with good news. Turk agreed to meet you. There's a pub in the Bronx, Solids and Stripes. Be there tonight. 2 things. No drinking on the premises, so if you want to grab a snack, do it before setting foot in the borough. And the meeting is exclusively no powers. We'll be rubbing shoulders with commoners the whole evening. And also, we don't trust you. Keep it casual, or you'll blow it. Anything you'd like to add? Yeah, I met Callahan yesterday. Kicked my ass and forbid me from meeting Torque. Not sure I should be there tonight. Silence on the line. Fuck. More silence. I can't promise you any protection on your way there, or the way back. But at the pub, you'll be in Torque's domain. For all his posturing, Callahan doesn't have the balls to strike Torque directly. We'll post additional hang-arounds on Lookout. That's the best I can do. If Callahan got under your skin, I get it. I was in that spot once or twice too. All I've got to say is, the risk is worth it. If you don't show tonight, I can't blame you. But it's a one-time offer only. You gotta hedge your bets. Just don't do anything stupid. You meet with us tonight, it better be in good faith. She ends the call. First things first. You take your subway to York Street Station, walk to Front Street, retrieve your car, and weigh your options while riding back to your haven. I gotta tell... I want to feed, but I need to tell Sophie, too. What is trust your intuition, though? I would definitely choose feeding opportunity, but the trust your intuition bit is... Okay. I gotta be safe. Tell Sophie you can't meet with Torque. Feels hopeless. Callahan knows you'll be seeking Torque out. Somebody left that note at your apartment, so they know where you spend your days. It's all too risky. Sophie will have to come up with another plan, or just do it her own damn self. You stop at her haven, not looking forward to the conversation you're about to have. Sophie's not at home with your visit. You wait for her impatiently, all while considering whether this is the best course of action. When she does come in, a good hour after you arrived, she's all smiles and warmth. Lamar, good evening. How is your task going? Have something for me, perhaps? Sophie, things got complicated. I can't meet with Torque. The warm atmosphere immediately grows colder, and so does Sophie's demeanor. I thought I made a clear request of you. What do you mean you don't want to meet him? Sophie, I almost died yesterday. Callahan's thugs grabbed me and beat me within an inch of my life. Or a knife, whatever. I almost died. If I meet with Torque, they'll finish the job. Oh. Something like pity appears in her eyes for just a moment. She looks at you, disappointed and sad. Then her features sharpen. I understand your concern. Nonetheless, I would ask you to continue, even if it's risky. The only way I'm doing this is if you offer me some protection. I am protecting you every night. My reputation in this city allowed me to save you from the prince's decree and keep you safe, and this is how you repay me. You do not understand how much depends on you making contact with Torque, and how important it is that I don't do it in person. It brings me no joy to remind you, but I still hold the right of destruction over you. If I have to call on it to make you do my bidding, I will. I thought we had an understanding. I thought we were developing a partnership here. I did, too. I was under the impression you agreed to follow my requests. You were doing so well, too. Suddenly, Sophie's demeanor changes entirely. Although her features do not shift, she is now a source of fear for you. She is grim, determined, and seems utterly impossible to negotiate with. You will leave now, and go back to the task at hand. You will not return until you have set up the meeting. Do I make myself clear? Words die in your throat. All you can manage is to nod your head sheepishly. Good. And Lamar, do it quickly. Time is running out. If it does, you will be of no more use to me. That final threat hit you hard. You take your leave quickly, eager to get away from Sophie's terrifying presence. You relax a bit in the car, but are still certain that you must obey her. It's that, or your life. Go to the meeting directly. Drive around. You do intend to visit Torque tonight. But you decide to first drive around a bit. Something tells you there might be someone tailing you. It sounds sensible to try to lose them. You spend a good 2 hours looking in your rearview mirror and driving all around the city before finally driving into the Bronx. You take some basic precautions as you enter Torque's turf. You park a few streets across from where the pub is and walk towards it while keeping an eye out for anyone suspicious. That kindred, for the most part, look no different than regular people, makes things complicated, of course. If you're being followed or watched, it's gotta be hard to tell. You reach the pub, shoot a final look around, there's nobody suspicious around as far as you can see, and open the door. The smell of cigarettes is overwhelming. The whole place has an aura about it, a constant mist hanging right under the ceiling. The lethargic fans do nothing to disperse it. The constant crack of billiard balls and clinking of glass tells you all you need to know about the clientele. Not a very vampiric place at all. You wonder if you got the address right. You apparently did. Mia's here. She motioned you over to one of the few tables around. Took your sweet time to get here. What, got cold feet? Never mind. Anyone follow you? Not that I know of. Fair enough. Before I introduce you, there's some outstanding business to discuss. You didn't prove very helpful at the bar. Carol, the bartender, mentioned you made an effort. You can imagine there's plenty of licks who use feminine pronouns in this city. Still, I'll take whatever I can get. So thanks for that, I guess. Come on, Torque's right there. You walk towards one of the tables. A guy in a coat and a hat leans over to take a shot. The table is clean of his balls, and he's way ahead of the opponent, but the 8-ball is in a tricky position. Hey, they're here. Be with you in just a moment. The hit is fast, precise, and it sends the black ball exactly where the player wanted it. His opponent lets out a frustrated sigh. That's that? I believe that's 150 American dollars, Joey. Let me try and do the... You want to pay up now, or you want to up the stakes again? The disgruntled man accepts his defeat and pays up, then declares he's going to grab another beer. To the victor go the spoils. Thank you kindly. He turns his full attention to you. The man's good-looking, if somewhat gaunt and intense. His eyes especially seem to pierce right through to your core, but not in an unpleasant way. Name's Torque. I believe you're Lamar. Sophie Langley's new plaything, is that right? Plaything? No, we're not lovers. Apologies then. With her, that's kind of the default, I hear. I did hear about your curious partnership, though. Forgive me for being real with you right off the bat, but I like to know what I'm dealing with. So here's something I've been scratching my head about. If you're with Langley, and Langley's cam through and through, I'm told, what is it you've come to accomplish here tonight? Sophie Langley wants to meet with you. Don't ask why, she didn't tell me. She just said it has something to do with gathering allies against Boss Callahan. I'm here to arrange that meeting. The fuck? I knew nothing about this tea. They lied to me. Mia's furious. She's looking at the pool cue and at you as if she was figuring out the best combination for the two. It's fine. I appreciate the honesty, even if you weren't straight with my second in command. That I don't appreciate. Well. Ain't that an interesting proposition? You can't be seriously thinking about meeting with Langley. She's hardline Cam. It's a trap, it must be. It just might. Just might. He looks at you, pierces you with his unnaturally keen eyes. He's about to say something when a door opens in the back of the room. Hey, Torque, you got, a guest. They're in the back. Mia, won't you be a dear and give our new friend company? I'll see what the commotion is. Sure thing. Torque tips his hat to you and walks to the back, joining the man who called for him. Mia glowers at you, this time weighing one of the pool balls in her hand. She looks like she's in half a mind to chuck it at your face. You ought to be quite happy with yourself, bluffing your way in here. It might have started as a task from Sophie, but I'm glad I could meet with you and Torque. Don't hold it against me. No, I'm totally gonna hold it against you, and for a while. You made me look like a chump in front of Torque. Here I was, beginning to think you might be a good addition to our little family. There's a whole lot of trust you'll have to regain before that happens now. Torque appears from a door in the back and calls across the room. Yo, Mia, can you grab me for a second? Lamar, get over here too. You go to the back room. It's basically a storage area with a single wooden desk. It's pretty cramped, especially considering there's 5 other people in there with you. Torque is ushering you in and closes the door behind you. And Mia, 2 burly dudes are holding somebody down. A familiar voice reaches your ears. Motherfuckers, you're gonna pay for this, you hear me? The boss is gonna fuck you up so bad you have no idea! Have you had the doubtful pleasure of meeting Mr. Coteries before, Lamar? I have a score to settle with this fucker. You're fucked. You're so fucked you don't even know it. You stupid piece of shit, I should handle you yesterday. The boss told you to stay away. You should have listened. That's a story and a half, ain't it? Vince, calm down now, and tell me how many of your guys are still out there on my turf, Go fuck yourself! You're done! The boss will know this stupid piece of shit fledgling came here. He knows they're with Langley. You know what that means, Torque? No, I don't. What does it mean, Vince? I'm still trying to find Torque's voice. Now the boss can wipe you out. He'll just say you're sucking Langley's tits and all those buddies of yours gone! You're done, Torque! Well now, if that's the case, I guess raiding NYC of your toady ass won't make things any worse, will it? Actually, here's an idea. Vince mentioned he beat you up yesterday. Did I hear that right, Lamar? You want to repay the favor? Gladly. Go right ahead. Hurt Vince. A lot. You hit Vince. Once, twice. He's chuckling in the beginning, but you focus your blood for some extra oomph and keep hitting him. And again. More. Until he stops laughing. He's bruised, battered, broken. The two Anarch dudes on the floor let go of him, and you kick him some more as he's on the floor. You only stop when you hear Torque's voice. Enough's enough, Lamar. He takes an old pull cue and breaks it over his knee. Stake him and take him downstairs. Let's keep Callahan guessing about what happened to his favorite puppy. Mia takes the sharp piece of wood and jams it into Vince's chest. His features grow slack, his entire body inert. He doesn't even give out a yelp. The other two Anarchs take him outside of the room. As entertaining as that was, I think Vince, in his unmatched wisdom, shared more than Callahan would hope for. This changes things. Ever heard about Operation Lights Out, Lamar? It was the Second Inquisition effort here in NYC. Single-night raids of magnitude never seen before or since. The Ivory Tower got away with just a few losses here and there. No major players were hit. Managed to find safe spots and stay out of the eye of the shitstorm. Us? Us, though? We got hit hard, all over town. Havens were rooted out. Entire coteries and safe houses gone, just like that. Nobody saw it coming. I barely got out in one piece. Mia looks at him with concern and puts a hand on his arm. He shrugs it off, gently but surely. Others, like my child, Barb, or Mia's sire, extinguished. Do you know who got out without a scratch? Callahan. We thought about it for the past few years. How is it that Big B manages to excuse himself from the museum on Staten Island where we used to meet, just before vans full of guys in body armor show up? How is it that as my baby is burning up after being shot with incendiary rounds, I see Doug Callahan running with his tail between his legs, pushing fledglings like you in the path of the SI? We think the bastard knew what was coming, and he set us up. Not just us. Some of our brothers and sisters who got hit hard had some of the lowest profiles in the city's lake population. Moral of the story? Callahan is an opportunistic motherfucker. And if even his thickest followers suggest he's gonna sell me out, then that's what he's gonna do, as sure as the sun rises. He pauses for a moment, and you see him reaching a decision. You said something about Langley having an offer for me? It might be your fault, in part, that I'm at this juncture. Now's gonna be as good a time as any to listen to what she has to say. I don't think that's wise, T. Well, what would you have me do, then? You said it yourself. It's all this fledgling's fault. They bought this on us. So let's use them as a bargaining chip. Callahan wants them. Langley needs them. They're valuable. I clicked the wrong thing. Guys, I'm sorry it turned out this way. I really am. I'm just a messenger in this. Don't throw me under the bus. Well, maybe I did click the right thing. That's just it. CT? They're just a messenger. What if this whole thing was planned? What if Langley's looking to score a couple brownie points with the prince and this is all a setup? If that's the case, we're beyond the point of no return anyway. So what if Callahan wants the fledgling? He wants us out of the picture. He'll find a reason. Not tonight, soon. Mia, I understand your concern, but I need you to trust me like you did before. This is my call, my responsibility. You can give me shit about it later, and I'm sure you will. Count on it. He smiles, then takes out a no bullshit and points at you. 3 conditions. First, you can pick me up personally and bring me to the meeting spot. Anything goes sideways, it's your ass. Second, Mia's coming with me. No two ways about it. 8 eyeballs in the meeting. 2 of you, 2 of us, nobody else. And third, the meeting is public. Downtown, some spot frequented by mortals. We see you take us anywhere fishy, we check out and fuck you up as a message to Langley. I count on it not coming to that, though. You seem likable enough. The camp hasn't gotten its talents in you yet. Keep it up. Maybe you'll come to the same conclusion we did in your own time. I might. There even is an Anarch movement in this city after the Camarilla gets its way. Don't you worry none. Camarilla only seem like a stable monolith. Just wait until they get bored of Panard's rule. Let me tell you, nothing quite as frantic and amusing as well-dressed rats scurrying over one another to call themselves the prince of the pile, if even for a moment. Best be on your way. Ask for me when you need me. The bartender knows how to reach me. Just ask him to put the owner on the line. Mia walks you to the front door and accompanies you to your car. Listen, about what I said before. Yeah, what about it? I panicked. That's all it was. It was unfair what I said. If anything, it's my fault. I'm angry with myself, and that makes me angry with you. Forget it. See ya. He starts walking back to the bar as you start the engine and head back to Sophie's apartment. Time to give Sophie the news. The fear you felt when you left the apartment might not be there anymore, but the atmosphere is still frigid when Sophie addresses you right as you enter. Tell me you have something for me? You nod. She brightens up. Just a little. More like sun rays glistening on frost than the radiance you know she's capable of. Well, let's hear it. What did Torque agree to? You relate the Anarch's leader's conditions. That you're to pick him and Mia up. That the meeting should only include the 4 of you, and should be held in a public space. Fine. I would ask that you pick them up tomorrow. How about Hudson Yards, top of the vessel? Meet me there after midnight. I'll be waiting for you, but do try not to be late. Listen, there might be some trouble from Callahan. One of his goons was caught spying on Torque. He probably wasn't alone. You have to watch yourself, then. Callahan will not dare act against me. You, on the other hand, he already proved it's not a concern of his. We must meet with Torque, so stay vigilant. I'm counting on you, Lamar. The final piece of the puzzle is about to find its way to its destination. After that, we all get our just reward. You, me, the Camarilla, even the Anarchs. After a fashion. Use the rest of this night well and take good rest. We are but a day's sleep away from shaking this city awake. Oh, damn, I still gotta do stuff? Oh, damn. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I've recorded, I don't know how many episodes in a row at this point. I'm tired. I'm so fucking tired. Hey, Hope, what's up, baby girl? When you reach the cafe, you're welcomed by a familiar face of the waiter who first led you inside. You exchange looks and nods. He hides his vaping pen in a back pocket. She's been expecting you. Something happened to her car, and she hasn't exactly been leaving her room ever since. He scratches his head, shrugs, and gestures at you to follow him. It's the same route as before. First, behind the locked door at the end of the room with all the computers, then into an endless gray labyrinth. Finally, you reach a door that would look like any other around here to a random bystander. Of course, by now you know that Hope's haven lies beyond it. The waiter bids you adieu with an exaggerated bow and starts walking back to the cafe. You enter the familiar room. This time, the lights are on. Hope is inside, walking around nervously, overseeing every screen in her sight. When she spots you, she wastes no time on introductions. Kara Montgomery, what do you know of her? You could have seen her in listicles such as Top 5 Badass Women of Tech 2018, 12 CEOs who spark innovation through empathy, or 20 entrepreneurs with mysterious ties to Jeffrey Epstein. You don't get to voice your answer. The question was just a minor courtesy. She has a monologue to deliver, and she won't allow an interruption. 20 years ago, she was a failed .com investor. Now she's CEO of Double Spiral, a brand management startup working at the crossroads of big data and influencer culture. The quotation marks are audible, dripping with venom. Long story short, she spent years convincing her Camarilla contacts, as in out of touch old farts mad about smartphones, that Kindred can benefit from controlling the internet. Her IT ghouls have done a lot of research on deepfakes, AI, machine learning. Her goal is an ability to generate thousands of believably human online accounts. Basically, an army of posters that could brute force anything into the mainstream discourse. The elders took a while to get the concept, but eventually Kara got their blessings. The thing is, she claims her tech is ready to be tested, but it needs one final component to work properly. And that's why she pauses. She proposed a truce. Truce? What kind of truce? The become my friend or face a violent death kind of truce? Not exactly fucking convincing, if you ask me. But no matter how much I hate her guts, she's a blessing in disguise. Hear me out. She picked a public place in Manhattan, neutral ground where we can meet without a fear that the other party might be doing something stupid and violate the masquerade. She wants to just talk. You will go there in my place and listen to her terms. We won't accept them, of course, especially not after she's just tried to kill us. We'll just steal her voice and walk away. Steal her voice? What next? Will you trade her mermaid tail for legs? A Disney joke? Sweet. What next? Will you hit me with a topical Harry Potter reference? I'm not trying to be obtuse here. Wait a second and let me explain my plan. You see, there's only one way to even the odds. We have to hit Kara where it hurts, and she's only got one weak point. Double Spiral headquarters. Kara's the only person there who's got access to every room. The security is something we came up with. Voice-based, but based on a different password phrase every time. That means just recording her talking is not enough if we want to give in. That's why I started selling illicit materials to people with access to advanced deepfake audio technology. I've got it right in this room. All I need is a sample base that will allow me to manufacture a bot that talks like her. To monitor data, I need to stay behind. Still, I think the plan is pretty simple. You talk to her while wearing a wire, I process the recording to her to steal her voice, voila! She's wide open. Then we invade Double Spiral and destroy it from within. Evil is defeated, I become part of your crew, happy ending for everyone. How does that sound to you? Isn't it kinda dangerous? You're Sophie Langley's right hand, coming to her in peace. She's got no reason to harm you, and every reason to avoid pissing off your esteemed patron. Come to think of it, you might be safer alone. Doubt the ghoul that attacked us last time knew who you were. Only reason you were put in danger is me. Hope shakes her head and claps her hands. When she speaks up, she sounds different. More spaced out, stuttering. Alright, let me fix you up with the hardware. She hands you a minuscule earpiece and starts attaching a small decorative pin to your clothes, along with some masked wiring. It's a directional microphone. I can clean up the audio later, but keep it pointed directly at Kara as much as possible, alright? You put on the headphones she gave you. It fits snugly deep inside your right ear. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. The hardware works flawlessly. The audio quality seems great. You give Hope an affirmative sign with your head. Beautiful. Kara designed the meeting place as Vessel. Designated the meeting place as Vessel. Heard about the place, right? That's right by the eastern end of the Lincoln Tunnel. Giant pile of staircases. Basically impossible to miss. Manhattan's answer to Eiffel Tower, or gaudy monument to being only ever so slightly free, depending on who you ask. I drive you there, but my car is still in the workshop. I don't want to risk being spotted by Kara's people, and I need to process the voice data from here. Which means I have a perfectly acceptable number of excuses for not letting myself get anywhere close to that demonic old hag. You involuntarily roll your eyes a bit. Hope sits in front of her screens, pretending not to have noticed. So, are we gonna get the show on the road or what? Ready whenever you are. No sense lingering here. You get back to the street and find your car. Wrapping up the show as quickly as possible sounds like a good idea. Around 30 minutes later, you're in front of Vessel. Hope's description, a giant pile of staircases, wasn't particularly helpful. In the distance, the building looks more like a giant honeycomb, designed to swarm with tourist bees. At least during the day, that is. At the moment, the place is closed to the general public. A few men who look vaguely threatening and out of place are making sure nobody unwanted gets in. However, you have no problem getting up the stairs. All it takes is an exchange of knowing glances with one of the guards. You're expected. A lone figure appears in your sights, staring down at the streets of Manhattan. You know, city people often complain about being unable to see the starry skies. But I always thought the real tragedy is how they're unable to appreciate the man-made sea of lights that surround them. You could teach people a lot of things, but you can't teach them to see, huh? You recognize the face from Hope's phone. Finally, you meet Kara Montgomery in the flesh. She turns to you, puts on a wide smile, and shakes your hand with a firm grip. First, a representative of Sophie Langley, now a representative of Hope. Not the way I developed my career, but I gotta say, not many neonates get around the way you do. Hardy fucking har. Hope speaks up in your ear for the first time, seething with contempt. Although Kara couldn't possibly have heard her, she immediately goes to address her absence. Can't say I expected her to actually arrive here, with you or instead of you. On the other hand, I'm sure every single word I say will be instantly relayed to her. And for the first time in forever, your empty blathering will serve an actually useful cause. So, let me make sure we cut out everyone but the middleman for a while, okay? She takes out her phone and taps the touchscreen. In a few seconds, the barely perceptible buzzing sound in your ear disappears completely. You can't hear Hope anymore. It's probable she can't hear your voice right now either, which would mean she must be busy raging and cursing out everything in her sight at the moment. This obviously wasn't something she expected to happen. Could it be that Kara saw through your plan? We have to play it cool and see what happens next. Knowing Hope, you've probably heard whatever scraps can be Googled about me, and a pile of insults for good measure. Obviously, I know everything there's to be known about you as well, Lamar. I don't believe you have a need for formal introductions. But first off, let me apologize for the discomfort my former employee has caused you. I wasn't remotely aware of his planned actions against Hope. I fully condemned them. Glad to see you unharmed. And of course applaud your swift disposal of this psycho. Langley chose you well. Brief silence. So let me cut to the chase here. Present myself the best way I know how, through my ideas. Who do you think has a monopoly on reality? Not much for small talk, is she? Who do you think has a monopoly on reality? Corporations do. That's a fairly typical answer. Very 21st century sounding. They succeeded in replacing the state here, though. She signals to someone behind you. For a while, you've been watched by Kara's men, who circle around the staircases, presumably her ghouls. One of them sets off downstairs. You know, Bolivia just had a military coup. Hundreds new accounts boasting about nothing but Bolivian politics in English set out to convince every random person online the USA wasn't to blame. Sloppy work, if you ask me. Now imagine this. 17 years old K-pop fan of Ohio doing an entire thread about her relatives in La Plaza are actually gone. Are actually glad the president is gone. A film reviewer with side interest in politics selling you a CIA-approved narrative about Evo Morales. An approachable fitness guy explaining the situation to you in simple terms, just like it is. Animated voices, expressive gestures, and steady eye contact. She's taught herself how to project a good image, but isn't a natural yet. At times, it feels as if she was screaming at you to trust her. It's not hard to emulate the masses. Reach out to one of those Eastern European troll farms, bang. Hours later, you have a clone army that will instantly voice their support for any cause. You'll spread your message, but you won't foster a new culture that serves your goals. Won't masquerade your messaging as independent thought. For that, you need personalities, not the masses. But getting to emulate personalities? That's a whole different ballpark. Not a craft, but an art. You need to understand your fabrication so deeply you start to hate it. Then learn to love it. If you want to make a bunch of those personalities to follow one agenda, you need a once-in-a-lifetime team to achieve that. A like-minded artistic collective, both ambitious and obedient. Even though you can't hear Hope's voice in your ear right now, you could swear you hear in Kara's speech. It's the exact same tone she was using when monologuing in the car. One of them must have been a big influence on the other. Or perhaps they used to be in a position where they both shaped each other's personas? Hard to say. Only one thing is for sure. And that is, Hope must be absolutely furious right now. Is it possible Kara knew about her plot? Fingers crossed she didn't. The state is satisfied with an account that went unused for 5 years suddenly starts yelling imperialist propaganda into the void. The aging corporations are too set in their ways. But imagine, a fresh startup that enabled proliferation of ideas adjacent to the prince's plans for the future. Now imagine it getting into bed with the biggest corporations and agencies. So many unlives that could be improved, even saved from the raids of First Light. I have the infrastructure and the Elder's support. All I need now is a mastermind at the center of it all. Hope. Yes, Hope. She looks down and takes in the scenery below for a while. Then, she points at her t-shirt. One piece of clothing that's clashing with the rest of her outfit. You know, I'm a huge fan of punk. Leading idea of my company, Double Spiral, is to make everything I do a little punk. All about clash ideas. I'm all about disruption. You wink a few times in quick succession. You're thinking to yourself she's that kind of person. Seen a lot of them in your own life. Another rich idiot thinking deals are an art form too. Hell-bent on perverting the meaning of any piece of actual art that has been thoroughly ruined by the art-hating dystopia that surrounds you. You collect yourself and escape the memory lane. Kara started talking about Hope, so you'd better listen. To me, Hope is as punk as it gets. Free spirit, fiercely independent, an eternal contrarian, at odds with everything and everyone. Developing her talents just because she finds it joyful. God, this girl needs guidance. Not putting her talents to better use. Rotting away, posting and bullshit all the time. What a waste. I built an environment specifically to develop her talents and to let her become indispensable to our society, but she rejects it because of some idiotic hang-ups. I don't expect you to change your mind about me just because I kept yapping and yapping. I just hope you'll keep my perspective in mind and serve as a voice of reason Hope really needs right now. Now that I had my say, how about we put our girl back on? She taps at her phone again. A silent buzz reappears in your right ear. 5 extremely long seconds of radio silence. I'm here. Keep talking. Don't worry. She should have heard everything. I just wanted to spare you an annoying commentary track while I introduced myself. Excuse me for a second. One of Card's guards approached her to show her something on his phone. Hope uses the distraction to get you up to speed with how things are on her side. Yeah, for a second there I was about to rage that hag had gotten the better of us. But hey, go figure. He's wanted to take a piss in my Cheerios. The plan worked. Got a lot of data from her monologuing and some private sources. But the more we get, the better. The display here says some more K letters could be useful. So, don't beat yourself up about it if you fail. But if you get her to repeat something with K in it, that might improve our deepfake voice. Looks like Kara's done talking to the guard. Sorry about that. Looks like I've got a sudden meeting with a Google representative to attend shortly. Hope snorts. Not bragging, though. By the way, does anyone but Hope know about this little rendezvous? Your patron? Any other companion? Or maybe the Oh, that's probably her, the Nosferatu. Kaiser! I'm gonna get her to say the letter Kaiser, the name Kaiser over and over. Hell yeah. So what if it's the Nosferatu? Kara's face takes on a hard expression. When she starts talking, she takes great pains not to say too much. Word of advice, kid. Kaiser's not in this business to be kind to strangers. Kaiser's only got Kaiser's interests in mind and nothing else. Might not let it show, but he's always in kill or be killed mindset. If you're doing business with him, keep that in mind at all times. Hope lets out a quiet, triumphant howl. Wow, the writers really used as many K's as they could in that sentence. I love it. Well, screen tells me there should be all K letter we need. Good job. Kara decides to change the subject. Anyway, no offense, but since Hope's not here, I really have to rush. Honestly, I feel a little insulted she set up this meeting and didn't even bother to show up. Insulted and suspicious, her tone of voice betrays. She might have some good instincts. Too bad she didn't trust them here. Still, out of respect for Langley, I decided to have this talk with you. To explain why I'm an asset to the Camarilla, and why the Elders need Hope by my side. What the worm-brained hag here forgot to mention is that the Elders don't give a shit about me. Even if you don't see it my way, I believe I've sown some seeds here that might sprout in the near future. Double Spiral looks out for people who look out for it, is all I'm saying. But before I leave, there's one thing I really wish I knew. Back when I knew her, she was a different person. Or different people, depending on how you look at it. Why does she fight against me so much? What's her motivation to resist so much? What's her motivation? Good question. She's never shared it with you. Answer whatever you want. But A, better lie through your teeth. And B, get her to say V a few times if you can. Might improve a few shortcomings of our deepfake software. What's your answer? Vengeance! Something like payback. Don't remember the exact phrasing, though. Kara frowns. Getting even? Revenge? Vendetta? Vengeance? Vindication? Take me dead and bury me pregnant, man. You're good at this. Or just lucky. Or both. That's all the V letters we need, it seems. One of Kara's people erupts with a theatrical cough. Kara gestures for him to calm down. I really need to rush for now. See you around, Lamar. She begins to walk down the stairs, surrounded by her guards. Once she's gone from before your eyes, Hope decides to summarize your mission. For the love of God, wish you could have kept her droning on for a little longer. Turns out the T letter could use some improvement as well. Not complaining, though. Did good. And don't worry, the data I've had should be more than enough to generate a convincing deepfake. I just need to put in some more work. So I guess I will get to that right away. Enjoy the rest of your night. Drop my hardware in your haven when you get the chance. I'll, try to Catholic thought. Traditional Catholic thought. I love that. I'll let you know when we're ready to hit Kara's base of operations. Pray for my success, sweetie, and I might be done soon. Maybe even tomorrow. Once we're done with her, we'll talk about how I can repay your generosity. Amen. The connection drops. Looks like that's all for now. You gaze at the sea of lights around you for the first time, and then start making your way back to the street level.